Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 7 this evening is a professional lightweight bout which will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 70.25 kilos and trains out of Ronin Academy, holding a professional MMA record of 6 wins for 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Taela Kelly. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 70.5 kilos and trains out of Integrated MMA, holding an undefeated professional record of 2 wins for 0 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matthew, the Iron Chopstick Lee Manwar. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Thomas Churchill.
And here we go. First professional bout of the night here, Matt. And it is Integrated MMA v Ronin Academy.
Tell you what, yeah, having a look at the physique on Taela Kelly and the way that I've seen him fight before, he's basically a Australia's version of Matt Hughes, isn't he?
Yeah, very strong-looking man. And he's also got the farming background, of course. Him and his brother, who we saw compete earlier tonight. They wanted to give a big shout-out to everyone at the QB Hotel in Bowen, tuning in here on the webcast. So good evening to everyone there at the QB Hotel. Another cool little fact about the Kelly brothers in the corner. They have their dad, Sean Kelly, who's the main cornerman, who's going to be shouting the instructions. So momentary takedown there for Lee Manwar, but straight back to the feet there. But look at this, big slam attempt.
Mentioned before, we had the chance to head down to Integrated during the week with Wombat Jones, the XFC promoter. And one thing I really noticed out of Lee Manwar, that I've never noticed before, is just how phenomenal of a athlete that he is. You know, the way that he moves his body, the way that he was going from technique to technique, from drill to drill, he really impressed me with his athleticism.
Yeah, you can certainly see it in the physique too, can't you, Matt? The Iron Chopstick, as they call him, looking in great physical condition coming into this fight.
And again, a big lightweight, isn't he?
Yeah, both these boys are quite big for the division. Got the short, stockier frame there for Taela Kelly. And, of course, the Iron Chopstick with that slightly longer frame, but still plenty of muscle there. So reversing things against the fence here is Taela Kelly. I do believe his fight name is Gorilla Ice. So a couple of good fight names here. Gorilla Ice taking on the Iron Chopstick. Sounds like a Tekken match. Short uppercut lands there for Lee Manwar.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Matt's stand-up so far. He's actually been able to get quite a few strikes through. So, again, when you think about both of these fighters, you tend to think about that wrestling type of game plan, but Matt's proving that he's definitely been concentrated on that striking.
Yeah, very talented grappler, Matt Manwar. Like you were alluding to there, Matt, a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and, of course, he is the current lockdown submission grappling under 84 kilo champion. Interesting enough, he lists his favourite submission when on top as a wrist lock. I don't know if he's quite being serious there, but
that dirty pig.
Very tricky to get those wrist locks with these MMA gloves. 2.5 minutes to go in this one, halfway through the first round. Of course, this is our first professional bout of the evening, so 5-minute rounds on tap here for this one. And for the first time this evening, elbows and rotational leg locks permitted amongst a few other techniques. So primarily spent against the fence here for the opening half of the first round by these two boys. Trading positions. No one really taking too much control. Some nice digging for underhooks on both sides.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you expect this is a perfect fight when the 10-point must system really starts to be critiqued. You know, a lot of people think it's the striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Like you need to clump them all together and give certain percentages to one another, but it really definitely comes down to striking and grappling first. Who was who had the advantage in the striking and grappling? If you can't pick it from there, then it goes to aggression and damage, and then from there it goes to octagon control. So again, right now a really even fight with Matt advancing and stepping over position here. He might start to be getting the nod.
Yeah, no, we did see the nice takedown there from the Iron Chopstick. Now in top half guard, but Taela Kelly doing well defensively. Of course, elbows permitted here on the ground for the first time tonight, like I mentioned. So there is a lot more potential for damage when you are in bottom, particularly in half guard. With the right arm there of the iron chopstick, you can really kind of frame and push off with some elbows, as you can see him trying to set up that technique there. But Taela Kelly, obviously very experienced, of course, for some some very well-known fighters, of course, the likes of Abel Brights, Brenton Mumford, former XFC champion Kieran Joblin. So really has shared the cage with some pretty impressive talent.
Showing his wrestling pedigree here with Manly Manwar as well. You know, a lot of these wrestlers like to get stuck in that half guard. You know, they like to be trapped down. Kind of restricts his opponent's movement a little bit, but still gives himself a little bit of flexibility to move around as well.
Yeah, of course, the half guard ground and pound position really made famous by George St. Pierre. He was kind of one of the first guys to show how effective it is in MMA. Pretty safe as far as sweeps are concerned, and you can get a lot of damage off with the ground and pound. So it looks like this one's going to finish with the iron chopstick on top here in round 1, and likely a 10-9 in the books there for integrated MMA.
Both boys straight up to their feet, straight over to their respective corners. So again, with such a close round, these are the parts of the fight game that I really enjoy. You know, it's a really impressive first round. Both fighters are definitely in it. This is now when the experience of the corner really comes to play and sets that new game plan going into the second round.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. That's a really good point as far as what adjustments is the corner going to recommend for their fighter, particularly looking at the blue corner there. I wonder what Team Kelly essentially over there are going to try and get Taela to implement here as we move into the second round. As like we mentioned, Manly Manwar likely one in the books for him. We hear the whistle there. The corner's now asked to leave the cage. Nakia Melody, Peter Hickmont clearing them out as Thomas Churchill now the lone official left, and he will get ready to clap us in.
So Dan, yourself, mate, you found yourself in the corner many times for the Combat Lab contingency. For example, if you're in Taela Kelly's corner right there, what are you telling him right now?
Well, it's a difficult one because looking at Taela Kelly's previous fights,
nice strike.
Big shot. Oh! Well, what I'd like to see Taela Kelly do is try and just get maybe a little bit more dominant with his positioning on the cage. So if he can here, using this underhook to start to turn, as it looks like we've seen a finger dislocated maybe, or the glove. Might be a glove issue there, sorry. So like I was saying, if I was in Taela Kelly's corner, I've seen it in a lot of his footage. His top control is super impressive, but the grappling exchange is not really going his way. So maybe you're just looking to try and turn this thing into a bit of a kickboxing match. Seen a lot of power in the left hook in particular, but look at that, Manly Manwar straight back in on the legs.
It's funny how the game plan, kind of unfolds. I was actually just watching Manly Manwar the way that he was setting up his strikes, following up the strikes with the takedown, and I kind of thought it very much reminded me of Craig Callahan. I look over my shoulder and I see Craig Callahan in the corner of Manly Manwar as well. So interesting game plan. He's mimicking his training partner with Craig Callahan right there.
Very entertaining little scramble there as we see both boys back up on the feet now. And this is a position that we have seen Taela Kelly have success in his previous fights, but maybe the strength of the iron chopstick proving a bit of an issue here. He's doing really well to not let his back stay on the fence for too long.
Yeah, if you look at Taela Kelly's fight when he fought David Butt, it was basically exactly what happened. He was able to push David Butt up against the cage. He basically held the fight there the entire 3 rounds. But yeah, you're right. Manly Manwar seems to have the answer to that.
So back into things here now. Up against the fence is Gorilla Ice. A couple of knees to the body there from the iron chopstick.
How excited do you think Taela Kelly was when his fight name was Gorilla and Venom brings a pair of shorts out like that?
Couple of big shots landed there from Taela Kelly, and the counter comes from Matt Manwar. So much closer around this one, Matt. Not quite sure exactly which way this one's going to go. Still plenty of time on the clock, though. I believe we're about halfway through the second round.
Taela Kelly's just such a big boy, isn't he? Look at the size of his biceps. He's got a set of arms on him. They're almost as big as Manly Manwar's legs.
Oh, nice elbow there from Taela Kelly, but Matt Manwar finishing the takedown, stepping over into side control. right in front of the in front of the Kelly corner, I should say. Sean Kelly, Taylor's dad, will be the primary man giving instructions there.
Good to see Quinn Kelly back up as well after his previous fight with Alex Ong. Nice and healthy, sending the direction straight down to his older brother.
Yeah, those submission losses are one of those ones that just sting straight away because you get up and you're fine. But,
That's right, yeah.
But obviously that triangle choke was pretty slick there from Alex Hong. So congratulations to Alex, and can't wait to see both Alex and Quinlan back in the XFC cage, maybe even in November for XFC 43. So inside the final 2 minutes here, and Matt Lee Manwar doing a good job to try and seal this second round. It was pretty close up until he got this takedown, but this top pressure will go a long way as far as taking this round of the judges' scorecards is concerned. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Taela Kelly there as he beautiful sweep from half guard. Wow, that was really nice. He got up on the side and then got up on the right elbow and then ended up sweeping the other way. So really well done there from Taela Kelly. Some technical jiu-jitsu work on the mat. Sweeping a purple belt of the caliber of Matt Lee Manwar is pretty impressive. Double underhooks now for the iron chopstick. And nice sprawl there from Taela Kelly. Both boys taking some pretty deep breaths now, though. There's been a lot of grappling involved in this fight up until this point. This cage work is absolutely grueling for those of you at home that have never had the opportunity to train. Nice takedown there, and Matt Lee Manwar back in top position here, Matt.
One thing I was really impressed with when we went to Integrated only last week, and I've mentioned it a few times now, but there are points in the training where I thought, okay, this technique that they're showing or this last round has to be it. They've got to be finished now. Once I'd originally thought that, they probably trained for another 30, 35 minutes. And I had to think, well, that's the difference between why Integrated are getting such impressive results right now. Anytime you think the training session's over, it's like they're halfway. Yeah,
one thing that always stands out to me with pretty much every Integrated fighter, I can sum up a lot of what they do in one word, and it's pressure.
Yeah.
Whether it's their striking or their grappling, that's just everything is forward, pressure, and they are such a draining gym to compete against. And as we can see here, Matt Lee Manwar showing off that patented integrated pressure. Likely 2 rounds in the books now for the man in the red corner.
I remember, as a matchmaker, it was always a little bit different when you had to have conversations about an integrated fighter. They'd ask, what kind of belt is he, or he's a white belt or a blue belt. But then there's a different kind of level when you talk about an integrated white belt or an integrated blue belt.
So getting ready for round number 3 now.
Taela Kelly deciding to stand in the corner. Matt Lee Manwar taking the stool. Loosening up the biceps, getting a bit of blood back into those big arms of Matt Lee Manwar. Both boys showing the respect again, acknowledging from each side of the cage that they're going to touch hands as the 3rd round gets underway. Matt Lee Manwar straight on the front foot again. He's shown some really impressive striking, hasn't he? A lot of these punches are getting through. Oh, big shot from Tully. 2 big shots. He's got to be careful.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Huge shots landing from Taela Kelly, and Matt Lee Manwar doing his best to stay on the feet
How are
here.
they both standing?
Oh! Oh my goodness. Counters the low kick nicely there from Matt Lee Manwar, and he's looking to try and slow things down now up against the fence, but Jesus. Taela Gorilla Ice Kelly coming out like a man possessed.
What a start to this 3rd round.
So a side there from the Kelly corner as we see Taela back on his back here early in round 3. Really want to see him back on the feet, letting go of those short, sharp hooks. Geez, a couple of them really hit the mark. Matt Lee Manwar showing off a real chin.
Again, such a brutal sport, isn't it?
So nice work here. It looks like he's stapled the left arm of Taylor Kelly, and some beautiful short elbows landed. Gets that arm back though. Does Gorilla Ice Taylor Kelly.
We find ourselves in the exact same position where Matt's been in the first and second rounds. But again, you'd have to think a couple of those strikes that he absorbed might have taken some little bit of motivation out of the tank.
Oh yeah, there were some huge shots landed in that exchange there, Matt. But both fighters look to have cleared the cobwebs. Back on the mat now. And Matt Lee Manwar looking pretty sharp here in top position. Good work re-guarding though from Taylor Kelly. Let's see if he can maybe look to get things back on the feet and uncork some of those hooks again.
Moving across to the professional ranks as well, we go to a 5-minute round. So as we see, 3 minutes to go. But yeah, what an impressive first couple of minutes in this third round.
Yeah, love the fight style of Taylor Kelly. Kind of John Lineker-esque in the sense that, you know, there's hooks coming from both sides, no straight punches, hooks and uppercuts all day. And yeah, like I said earlier, Matt Lee Manwar really showing off some durability. So I like what the Iron Chopstick's done here in top control, switching the hips there. It's a really nice way to stay heavy in side control and get that bottom leg away to avoid getting caught back into half guard, back into a traditional side control now. And as you can see, Taylor Kelly doing his best to try and find himself back into some sort of guard position.
And again, Kelly has definitely been in this position before, like I said, when he's fought the likes of, you know, your Brenton Mumfords, your Kieran Joblins, your David Butts. He's definitely been in a tough position like this before, but as we mentioned before, when he was taking down the Kelly brothers in his corner, definitely threw off a sigh, a bit of anger as well. They definitely don't want this fight on the ground right now.
Yeah, a real veteran is Taylor Kelly, 6-4 as a pro and a 6-1 amateur record as well. So a lot of fights on the board for the man in the blue corner. Of course, born in Townsville, but calls Bowen home. And like I mentioned earlier, he's got a big crew at the QB Hotel in Bowen tuning into the webcast. Of course, thanks to everyone for joining us on the XFC stream here tonight. My name's Daniel Maudsley, joined in the commentary booth with the former XFC promoter, Matt Walton, doing a great job talking us through some of the action.
And I know the Kelly brothers, I know their mother's listening in on the stream as well. So hello, Mum, I hope you're enjoying the fights. You boys are putting in some solid performances here. So
in north-south now is Matt Lee Manwar. Might even be looking to lock up a reverse triangle here as he starts to cross his legs. Going to be pretty hard to do with those big shoulders of Taylor Kelly though. So with 30 seconds on the clock, the Iron Chopstick on his way to a pretty dominant performance here. And back into side control now is the integrated MMA fighter, Thomas Churchill, our referee, just getting some toes out of the fence there. 10-second clapper now, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to think that it's just the hands and the feet, you know, the fingers that you can't put in the cage to advance your position, but you're actually not allowed to put your toes in the cage as well. But yeah, solid performance from both boys. What an entertaining fight. Massive props to Integrated. They're in there 7 times tonight, and there isn't a single fight that they've put their name up against where they're the resounding favourites as well. So they might be the best gym in the country, but they definitely didn't get there from taking the easy fights all the time. Solid pressure there from Latmi Manwar. And that was that nice little reverse sweep that we saw from Taylor, but was unfortunately not able to keep that position. Again, you talk about sports like football and soccer where we're basically inches away from a different result. That little sweep there was exactly the same thing. That little reversal, if he was able to keep that position, you don't know where this fight could have ended. But huge respect from the boys here. What a fight.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored about 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, Matthew, the Iron Chopstick, Lee Manwar.
Adrian Payne stoked with his fight at Manwar. He knew what he went through in that 3rd round. He knew the punches that he absorbed. That's a great win from Matt.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Matt the Iron Chopstick Lee Manwar. Apart from sporting one of the greatest nicknames in Australian MMA, now moving to 3-0 as a pro, give me your thoughts on the fight.
I wanted a tough fight, and Kelly, my opponent, he had 6, he's had more wins as a pro than I've had fights in total. So I wanted a hard opponent to prove that I could fight at the top level in Australia. So I proved that tonight. Thanks to my opponent, thanks to my corners, Adrian, Nelson, and Craig. Thanks to all my boys and girls. Woo.
Yeah, of course, experience. One of Taela Kelly's. I think that tonight was his 18th fight. So you well and truly took on a veteran and came away with the win. What's the rest of the year looking like for the Iron Chopstick?
I always leave it in the coach's hands. If they want me to fight again, I'll fight. But I'll just see what the coaches want.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner. One more round of applause, Matthew, the Iron Chopstick, Lee Manwar.